Ohio winter teams have had an impressive start to their season, and we take a closer look at the postseason results for fall sports. A new episode of the Bobcat Sports Showcase starts now. Welcome to another episode of the Bobcat Sports Showcase. I'm your host, Abbey Carnivale, and we have a winter show packed with stories. But before we get to the teams starting their seasons, we have to tie up a few postseason loose ends. To start, it's official. After a long season that ended with an impressive win against NIU, Ohio football is going bowling. Reporter Carly Bell did a little research to give us details on what fans can expect.
The Ohio Bobcats are going bowling. This is the 6th bowl appearance for Ohio in the past 7 years. They'll be heading down to Montgomery, Alabama to play in the Raycom Media Camellia Bowl on December 19th, and Appalachian State will be on the other sideline.
It'll be a challenge that'll certainly be accepted by our players. They're looking forward to that challenge, and they're looking forward to playing the game.
Appalachian State is bringing an offensive scheme that the Cats haven't faced all year.
You're talking about triple option football. That is not something you see all the time, and so it's, the extra days to prepare is probably good for us.
The Cats will also be bringing something else to the gridiron: Poppy White. White has been sidelined due to injury since the loss to Western Michigan on October 17th. All 3 quarterbacks and a couple offensive linemen will be healthy as well going into the bowl game. Ohio is also coming off an upset win against Northern Illinois on November 24th, and they're looking to ride that momentum into the bowl game.
The way we finished the year, I think, is encouraging for all of us. That momentum is there, which is always huge at the end of the season when you are prepared for a bowl game.
Ohio's Phil Wellington hasn't only earned national recognition on the wrestling mats, but also some street cred with his skateboarding passion. Wrestling reporter Rachel Cherry did a little grappling to get the story for us.
Phil Wellington, 3-time NCAA qualifier, ranked 12th in the country, and an avid skateboarder. Skateboarding is not an activity a 197-pounder usually does. But for Phil, it all started when he bought the game Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 for his friend's birthday.
We played it all night at his birthday party. So I was like, Dad, you need to get me this game and a skateboarder. So I just picked it up, and I have been skateboarding ever since. But I literally skateboarded every single day when I was a little kid. So I think I got really, really good. I might have been even better as a skateboarder at that time than I was as a wrestler. But I was really good on the point to like getting sponsored and whatnot. I was actually thinking about making it a career, but I don't know, I kind of liked athletics a little bit better. Then when I put the board down, I kind of put my focus on the wrestling. I think I got it kind of switched.
Coach Joel Greenlee won't let skateboarding interfere with wrestling.
For Phil and I, it's been a battle since he first got here. I think it was his freshman year, maybe his sophomore year. I think he was riding down Jeff Hill, and he crashed at the bottom right before one of our tournaments, and he's all scraped up, and I was like, yeah, you got to wrestle anyway.
Phil keeps Coach's opinion in mind.
Although I haven't been hurt too bad on it, but that risk is there. And Joel obviously hates when I bring it around, so I try not to, and I try not to do it as much, even though I'd like to.
Phil not only bounces on the skateboard, but between the two activities.
During the summer, I would say a lot. I'd probably spend like 4 hours a day just hanging out at the skate park, skating with my friends almost every day. But while I'm at school, off season, I can spend probably that amount a week, and then in season I try to put the board away completely because I don't want to get hurt and ruin my career.
Coach Greenlee believes skateboarding might help Phil's wrestling career.
I think if you're all wrestling every day and you never have an outlet, it's going to get pretty old.
Ohio men's basketball player Treg said he had a heart-to-heart with the team's head coach over the summer and decided to join the team for another year. Reporter Michael Dropcho caught up with Seti and saw how happy he is spending his final year as a Bobcat.
Coming into the season, Treg said he was unsure if he'd be back in Athens for his final season. As a fifth-year senior, he could have transferred to another school and he would have been immediately eligible. Naturally, he said he had quite the decision to make.
Yeah, I mean, the season was so tough that, I mean, I think naturally you just always look for a way out, you know what I mean? I mean, it's tough when you're in a bad situation. You just want to find a way to get out and get to a new situation.
For a guy that's played at 2 schools and for 3 different coaching staffs, starting over is nothing new.
Treg hasn't been in a lot of situations, because of timing more than anything else, where it wasn't survival mode for pretty much everyone in and around the program. Transitions, transition to Southern Illinois, transition here. You know, just, it's always been a constant state of flux for him, and it's hard to develop like that. It's hard to flourish like that.
So with the option to leave and start over once again, Seti met with Ohio's coaching staff this summer to discuss his future.
They just wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to be a problem this year. Last year was a tough year for everyone, and myself personally. I just had a tough time really kind of getting acclimated to coach's system.
Well, when we had the meeting, I thought it was 50-50. He'd walk out of it saying, I'm done. Not always easy to hear what needs to be heard. And the message was pretty blunt with him. I think you've got to change.
After I talked to the coaches and stuff, I kind of realized that I could do it. I had confidence in myself that if I just put the work in and kept my mind right and just did what I was supposed to do, that I'd be a good player for this team.
Said he heard that message clearly, so he went to work. And he worked harder than he ever had before.
I shot 55,000 shots during the summer. My goal was to shoot 25 during the summer. I got to 25,000, and then I wanted to get to 50,000 before the season. I ended up getting to 55,000.
That work has already paid off.
First and most obvious is his shooting. You look at his shooting percentages and they're just up drastically, particularly his jump shooting. But I think the other area is his patience in the paint with the basketball. He slows down with it and really has turned into a pretty good playmaker. Whereas last year it might be a forced-up shot from a bad angle over a guy. This year it's more likely to be a jump stop, a shot fake, dropping it down to the floor to a teammate for an open layup.
Even with the improved play on the court, Seti's biggest impact on Ohio may not be till after he leaves.
The most significant thing that Treg can do this year is help establish a culture that he'll recognize when he comes back in Alumni Day in 10 years. That might not be the most exciting job he has. It may not be the most personally gratifying for him right now, but I can tell you that in 10 years, if that does indeed happen and he's coming back around, he's going to take a great deal of pride in it.
After redshirting her freshman year, Kelly Carlos has finally had her chance to hit the hardwood for the women's basketball team. Basketball reporter Tasia Smith has the story on Carlos and her start to the season.
In high school, she helped guide her team to 3 state championship titles, averaged 10.1 points per game, 3.5 rebounds, and 2.4 assists. She ended her career with 149 career blocks and the 3rd most in school history. Last season, Kelly Carlos was the only addition to Bob's Ballers. In her debut as a Bobcat, Carlos posted 12 points and 7 rebounds. In her first 8 games in her green and white jersey, she had a total of 17 blocks. But they would stop there.
I had a stress fracture in my right shin last season.
According to the Mayo Clinic, as the name suggests, a stress fracture is a small crack in any of the weight-bearing bones of the body caused by the repetitive application of force, oftentimes as a result of overuse. It would be these tiny cracks that would end Carlos's season.
We were disappointed. I thought Kelly got off to a really good start, an uncharacteristically good start for a freshman. It's hard to come in and play as a freshman and play well, and she did both of those things.
The team had to figure out how they were going to move things around on the court without Carlos. She was already a big impact player for the team.
That happens in basketball, and in every sport there's injuries, and you have to kind of replan your plan.
Because Carlos only played in 8 games, she was able to redshirt. Coming into the season, Carlos was ready to get back on the hardwood, especially with the addition of 5 new ballers.
Last year coming in by myself, I really didn't feel like I had competition against anyone else because I was the only one in my grade, and then now coming in with 5 other freshmen, it really felt like there was more of a competitive nature.
But coming off injury, it's only natural that Carlos would be a little less confident than last season when she was coming off a state championship high.
Just trying to get my confidence back one step at a time, so that's pretty much my main thing.
She comes in every day with the mentality that she wants to get better, and me and my staff work very hard to help her do that. She's going to be really good for us, and she just needs some more reps and she needs some more time, and I'm excited to see where this ends for her.
With just a short drive down the road, a recent women's basketball addition is enjoying the closeness of home while also enjoying her new college life. Reporter Matt Stevens talked to the Athens County native to see how she's been enjoying life as a Bobcat.
From Bulldog to Bobcat, Ohio freshman Dominique Dosick has begun to settle into Division I college basketball. The transition for Dosick has come with ease due to an established sense of community and family just 5 minutes away.
When we got here, we knew that there was a good player locally, and then we went out and evaluated her and had her here on campus and things of that sort. But I mean, we didn't recruit Dom because she was local. I mean, we recruited her because she was good.
For as early as Dosick can remember, the ultimate goal was always to play ball at the Division I level.
I always wanted to play Division I college basketball. That's always been a dream of mine, and just to play here is just unreal.
With Athens High School being only 5.5 miles from the Convocation Center, Dosick was always accessible to Ohio's coaching staff.
From the recruiting standpoint, it was easy for her to come see us play. I mean, she came to a lot of games. It was convenient for us to go see her play. A lot of times we played on the same nights, but when we could, it was easy just to drive up to the high school and see her.
Going to open gyms and camps with the team from grade school to high school allowed Dosick to make relationships with current and former Bobcats.
Every single year from 4th grade up, we've come to the little kid camps. I came to the elite camps when they had them. Being so close, I was able to come into open gyms when they were having open gyms, and I got really close with the team then. And I have a gym in my backyard, and KB and Kiki and Monty would always come over and work out, so I got to know them really well.
Dosick feels OU has been a great decision from the classroom to the convo.
Initially, it was with Coach Randall. They came in sophomore year, junior year, and then they called me into their office when they got in just to talk things out, and then we exchanged phone numbers and then just had casual conversation, like 5-minute conversations. I don't know, it was a great fit altogether. The academics here are great for my major. I'm a sports management major. The playing style for this team is a great fit for me, and I just love the coaches and team.
Dosick has a strong presence in the Athens community, and she feels that very well could pack the stands.
I feel like we'll get bigger crowds just because I'm local, but they deserve the crowds, so I'm just glad to bring in the people.
Being here, I think anytime you can have your family involved in your successes, I think it's pretty special.
With the local aspect pushed aside, head coach Bob Boldon has high expectations for Dosick.
We told her, we're not recruiting you because you're local. We're recruiting you because you're good, and I think she's going to have a tremendous career here.
Wrestling is one of the oldest recorded sports, with origins starting in Europe over 7,000 years ago. Showcase reporter Nolan Walker found someone hailing from Eastern Europe on Ohio's squad that was able to give us a little insight on the sport's international differences.
I moved to America about a year ago, 1 year, 4 months ago.
Arsenis Hogan is a typical 165-pound wrestler for the Bobcats, but he is untypical to America.
He sent us an email about he was going to come to the school in the United States. He got accepted to Ohio University.
Now enrolled at OU, Ashugan had to make the journey from Armenia to Athens.
The main reason was my education and wrestling, but mostly education. Because when I was in Armenia, I always wanted to come over here to get my college degree.
He fit right in with the Bobcats, but had to adapt to a new approach of wrestling.
So it's kind of different here. It's college wrestling, folk style. The rules are different. The style is different.
Come on! Get it! Get it! Get it!
Some of it, we've grown up with it since we were little kids, and he has no idea.
The hardest thing for me, I think, is to get used to top-bottom part. It's kind of hard because in freestyle, you don't have to do the same things on top-bottom that you do on folk style.
As one of the top wrestlers in Armenia, Ashugan's unique style of wrestling can definitely benefit the Bobcats and eventually turn into success of his own.
Yeah, I think it helps us a lot. It gives you a different look. He gives everybody that he wrestles fits. He's very hard to wrestle. And once he gets a little more polished in folk style, I think he's going to be a lot of people.
Ashugan will keep striving as a student athlete yet he has plans to return to his homeland.
Yeah, I'll go back to Armenia to see my family, see my friends, but I don't really know what I want to do after I graduate, but I'm glad I came here and I like it.
It's an upperclassman's job to help new collegiate athletes acclimate themselves to the higher level of competition, and the Ohio men's basketball team has done just that. Reporter Patrick Klinger explains the dynamic between several of the team's duos.
It is no secret that the Ohio Bobcats have one of the youngest teams in program history. Second-year head coach Saul Phillips is looking for anyone to step in and be a leader.
We have a very small amount of experience on this team, and anybody that can add to that collective knowledge that we have, speak up.
The few veterans Ohio does have wasted no time answering the call. Redshirt junior Kenny Kaminsky has taken freshman Gavin Block under his wing, and Block is always eager to listen and learn.
You know, he's always telling me to be ready to shoot. You know, he's a shooter, he's got a shooter mentality, and that's something I'm trying to get here. Definitely just come here and play with confidence. That's the one thing I've gained from him, is come out here, be confident in myself, and just play hard.
Kaminsky and Block aren't the only ones. Freshman forward Doug Taylor has latched on to junior big man Antonio Campbell to improve his game.
He's like a big brother to me. He teaches me a lot of post moves. He teaches me how to use my body more, because coming in, I really didn't know how to use it. I was just an awkward kind of guy, just big and just taking up a lot of space. But since I've been here, using Tone as an example, like he knows how to move his feet better than me, and like make himself available more on offense and be in the right spot at the right time on defense.
The bond between teammates stretches far beyond the court. Learning from Kaminsky allows Block to find a smooth transition to the college game.
We just talk about how his moments at Michigan State, you know, my dream when I was a little kid growing up, and he's been, you know, playing that big stage, and definitely just, you know, we've had a couple personal instances where we've come a lot closer, but besides that, you know, he's one of my best friends here, and I'm so thankful to be on a team with him.
Coach Phillips knows his young players will continue to study up, and as a result, they will be successful for years to come.
It's fun because this is really the beginning of something that's going to be a staple of our program, where you have seniors helping, or upperclassmen, any upperclassmen, helping freshmen along. And I don't think there'll be a group that's any better at mentoring a young group than these freshmen we have in 3 years. I think they're going to be spectacular at it.
It may be as simple as a spin on their palm, a certain foot placement, number of dribbles, but each basketball player swears by their foul shot routine. Women's basketball reporter Andrew Homan sees how Ohio's squad gets in the foul shot zone.
I step up, I take a deep breath. Take 2 dribbles and spin it.
Step back and then step back into my shot.
I took 3 dribbles and shot it. That was, I don't know why, 3 dribbles. I remember Harold Miner used to go around his waist and rub the ball on his nose, which I thought was bizarre. But I tried it because I liked Harold Miner, but that didn't work either, so I just stuck with the 3 dribbles.
Free throws. Everybody has their own routine for when they step up to the line, especially in crucial situations.
You just never know when something's going to go wrong or the game's going to be on the line, and you have to make those free throws. Every time I work out, I end it with free throws. So it's just basically stepping up and just doing your routine and just knocking them down.
If you think about the shot, you're probably going to miss it. So you just have to relax and just, I mean, free throws, they're the same. I mean, you're at the free throw line, same distance. You practice them all the time, so you just have to relax and put them in.
The pressure's always been a positive in my life. Like, it's always helped me focus, and you know, like I get uncomfortable when there isn't pressure.
So what do you tell someone when they're at the line with the game in their hands?
One thing I usually say is just don't shoot it short or pop to your toes. Just make sure you get it to the back of the rim. So I might say like pop to your toes or get it there or something like that, but I try not to like say too much and just let them relax and get ready for the shot.
No, I tell them to make it.
That's true.
Make it. I mean, we talk with our shooting in general, we talk about shooting the ball straight. So, you know, if it were, I guess it would depend on who it was. I wouldn't tell KB anything.
It don't really bother me in the moment. Like, I wouldn't say I don't know. I feel like if anybody would be out here line, I would want it to be me. But I'm not really bothered. It's just a free throw.
There's another team suiting up this winter season, just in deeper waters than their teammates. Ohio swimming and diving reporter Mateen Ozishik dove into the details to see what gets Ohio diving off the board and into the waters.
Swimming and diving, as the name suggests, is a two-part sport. I decided to meet with the Ohio women's diving team to find out the more subtle differences between the two.
I know diving is very specific and very detail-oriented, where like swimmers will get a workout and they'll swim and go back and forth, and then the coaches will kind of critique them like here and there. But diving, I have to coach every single dive, every single time they go off the board. So I have to make sure that everything they do is correct. I really have to focus and pay attention and make sure that everything's going smoothly. But when I do practices and stuff, I have to make them very individualized for each diver, so they're completely separate, where the swimmers kind of get general practices for them, so they focus on, whatever it is that they need to focus on, but it's a group swim where each diver has a completely separate workout, and I coach each dive individually.
Many people are not aware of the biggest difference between diving versus swimming. That difference lies not in the water, but in the diver's own heads.
I think the biggest difference is definitely the adrenaline rush you get. I know like with swimming, because I did swim before, with swimming you get like nervous and the butterflies and you're like ready to like race. With diving it's a little different as everyone does one dive each and then they do another dive the next round, then another dive. So it's kind of slow paced. It's not like you're racing someone, it's more just like keeping your cool, but like also like you're doing like a million flips in the air, like trying to control it all.
Well, I personally think that diving's a lot more mental. Diving's about 75% mental, about 25% physical. When you become a tower diver, it's about 90% mental and about 10% physical. It completely plays with your mind all the time. You get anxiety, you get stressed out, you get frustrated. Where swimmers, they worry about whether they're going to go fast or doing things correctly, but I don't think they constantly think about getting hurt or getting injured and stuff, where with diving, you land wrong on one dive and you can blow your entire career. So it's very stressful. You can also hit the board, which most divers hit the board numerous times within their career and stuff like that, so you can break bones and everything. So it's definitely a very stressful sport.
I guess it's just kind of believing in yourself. So if you're like, oh, like I can't do this dive, obviously like you're not gonna do it well or even like make it. So I guess the pressure is like good and it makes you stronger. You just have to believe in yourself and know that you have been training for this and you can do it.
Ohio hockey has one of the most dedicated fan bases and the best reputation, but still only remains a club sport. Reporter Duncan Goldberg looked into the mystery of why the team can't get that Division I title.
Ohio University has a Division I hockey program. The thing is, that hockey program is in the ACHA, not the NCAA.
Probably the biggest difference between ACHA Division I and NCAA Division I would have to be the scholarships that the NCAA Division I can give, and we necessarily can't give out any athletic scholarships.
The Bobcat hockey team is in the ACHA because it doesn't receive funds from the school, but funds their program on their own. In order to make the shift from the ACHA to the NCAA, there would need to be a lot more money put into their program.
I know that there was an NCAA varsity hockey here from 68 to like 73. And then I'm not exactly sure the reasons, but I imagine it has everything to do with funding. Obviously, with no scholarships, I mean, the cost to operate our program is far less.
Funding, it's definitely a problem. It would be for an NCAA team. I mean, we have the rink, the facility, probably would need a few more upgrades.
To put things in perspective, Byrne Arena, where the Bobcats play, only sits 2,000 people, whereas Ohio State's Value City Arena sits up to 17,500. It would require a great deal of funding to improve OU's hockey facilities. The thing is, other collegiate programs have made a successful shift from the ACHA to NCAA before.
The last two ACHA teams that went NCAA Division I was Penn State, and one guy donated $85 million to make that happen. But Penn State makes money, the hockey team makes money. And the second one was Arizona State, and one guy donated $35 million. So we're not talking a little bit of money, we're talking some big numbers.
Talk may be cheap, but the Bobcats have been one of the best ACHA teams year in and year out. The Cats were even ranked as high as #1 by the ACHA earlier this season. So could OU's hockey team actually compete with the big dogs of the NCAA?
Absolutely. It's a great academic school, a great social school. Hockey would definitely thrive here for sure.
I think OU can become a Division I hockey school. I mean, we definitely have the backing by all the students, and seems everyone likes us. And then, like right now, we can probably compete against some of the smaller Division I teams. We're actually going to play Arizona State, which they just became Division I, so we'll see how that goes.
Unfortunately, that's all we have for today and until January 29th. But just because we go on break doesn't mean Bobcat Athletics does too. You can follow along with us on Twitter at Bobcat Sports Showcase or give us a like on Facebook for all news and features until we get back. You can meet me again right here on January 29th at 11 p.m. I'm your host, Abbey Carnivale, reminding you to fight for the green and white.